What's up guys, MLT Tricks here, and in today's video I'm going to be performing and then teaching you this card trick that actually fooled Penn and Teller. And this trick is really cool and it's actually not too difficult to perform, and the magician's name is David Parr, and I will be leaving the link in the description to his performance. And also guys, I am having a giveaway on the channel right now. I'm giving away 3 $10 Amazon gift cards, and all you need to do in order to enter this giveaway is be subscribed to the channel, drop a like on this video, and comment something you like about my channel. That's all you have to do. It's really simple, and I will be announcing the 3 winners in a video next week. But anyways, let's get right into this performance. Okay, so this is a follow the leader type card trick, and what that means is a spectator follows the exact same actions with their deck of cards that the magician does with their deck. And unfortunately, I don't have a spectator here for this performance, but I'm going to be playing both the role of the magician and the spectator. So this trick started off here with the magician basically just spreading out the cards face up like this, showing that all the cards in his deck are in fact different. Then the host of the show, Penn and Teller, did the exact same thing with her deck. She spread out the cards face up, showing all the cards are different. Then from here, the magician with his deck, he gave the cards, some overhand shuffles just like this, mixing up the cards a little bit. And then the host did the exact same thing with her deck. She just did some overhand shuffles like so. And from here, what happened was the magician, what he did, he just kind of cut about a third of the deck off like that. The host with her deck did the exact same thing. One more time, cut another portion of the deck. The host did the same thing with her deck. And from here, what the magician did was he took one card from his deck, placed it face down into the spectator's deck. The spectator took one card from her deck and placed it face down into the magician's deck. From here, what they did was he just kind of put the rest of the cards on each pile. The spectator did the same thing with her pile just like this. And from here, what happened was the magician, he spread out his deck of cards like this, showing the one blue card right here. And then the spectator did the exact same thing with her deck. She spread out the cards, showing the one red card right here. What happened first was the magician turned over the card that the spectator put down in the deck, in this case the King of Diamonds. Check it out, if I snap my fingers, there should be right here the exact same card that the magician put in the spectator's deck. So that is what the card trick looks like. I hope you guys liked it, and if you want to learn how to do it, make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, so this trick is not too difficult to perform, but it will completely confuse your spectator, and it has a really powerful end effect. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 decks of cards with different colored backs, and you need to decide which deck of cards you're going to be using for the performance and which deck of cards your spectator is going to be using. And in this case, for this tutorial, I'm just going to use the red deck which I used in the performance. And before you go up to your spectator, what you're going to need to do is take any card you want from the deck that they are going to be using. In this case, I just chose the King of Diamonds. It does not matter, it can be any card you want. And then you're going to need to find the corresponding card in your deck of cards. And once you have this, you are also going to need to take any card you want from your deck. In this case, it just shows the 2 of spades. It can be any card, and you are going to need to make what is called a crimp card, and you're basically just getting a little bend in the card like this. So what you're going to do, you have your card, just simply give it a little bend, and I'll explain why you do this as we go throughout this tutorial, but it's really important. Give it kind of a significant bend, not completely, just a little bit. And another way you guys can do this, it's a little bit more difficult and not as efficient, I think, but you can also do this. It's a little bit more discreet. So you're going to take the card, in this case it's just the Joker here, any card you want from the deck. You're going to apply pressure with your thumb and kind of 2 fingers in the middle. You're going to pull to the corners, and you're going to do that with the other corners like this. And this will also work. You can just do it a couple times to make sure it's nice and kind of bent a little bit like this. And once you've done that, this also acts as the crimp card here. It's a little bit more discreet, as you guys can see here, but obviously you can choose either one. Both will work just fine. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to use this one here, and I would suggest using this one because it's a little bit more easier to create. And at this point, you're also going to need some double-sided tape, and you're also just going to need to grab any random card from the deck. And this is all the materials you need. It's really not too big of a setup, and this is what the setup looks like. So you're going to take a strip of your double-sided tape, just a little bit like this, and you're going to place this in the middle of the random card you chose, not the crimped card. I'll explain what you do with this in a second. So you're going to take the double-sided tape, just place that right in the middle of the random card you chose from your deck. You're going to place this at the very bottom of the deck, and then you're going to take the card with the same back as your spectators, in this case the King of Diamonds. You're going to place that right below the card with double-sided tape at the bottom of the deck, and then you're going to go skip about 10 to 15 cards from the bottom of the deck here. you're just going to go, it's all going to be at the bottom portion of your deck. This is right about a good amount of cards, I think, 10 to 15. Then you're going to place the card that corresponds to your spectator selection with the same back as yours, in this case the King of Diamonds here with the red back, face down. And then right above it, you're going to place that crimped card just like this. And this is all the setup is. It's just happening at the bottom portion of your deck. And the spectator's deck that they're going to be handling has absolutely no setup whatsoever. And this is kind of what I'm talking about here with the crimp. You guys can see here, it creates this natural break in the cards. And I'll explain why this is important in a second as we go throughout this tutorial. Okay, so you're going to go up to your spectator and you're going to explain that you're going to be doing a follow the leader type card trick. And you're going to give them this deck of cards. And what you're going to be doing with your deck is you're going to tell them they're going to be following the steps that you do with your deck of cards. And you're going to start off by basically just kind of spreading out the cards like this, showing them that all the cards are different. But unfortunately, all the cards are not different because, like I said here, you're going to have the King of Diamonds, that has the color back of their deck. And if you keep spreading, you're going to run into another King of Diamonds. Your spectator shouldn't really be focusing on the cards that you're just spreading out really quickly. But the best way to prevent that is you kind of just block push the bottom like 5 or so cards like this. If you cover them up, you're just going to be kind of doing this to your spectator, and then you're going to explain to them that they're going to be doing the exact same thing. It's just kind of just to start off the trick and introduce basically what is going to be happening throughout this trick, and your spectator is going to be following the exact same steps you're going to be doing. They do the same thing here, just like this. Keep in mind, no setup in their deck whatsoever. From here, you're going to be doing some overhand shuffles, and this is the most important part of the trick, in my opinion. This requires a little bit of a sleight of hand. It's really not too big of a deal. So say you're holding the cards in your right hand like this. All you need to do is come over with your other hand, and you're going to slide off the top card. At the same time, you're going to be using your other fingers like this to push off, I'd say, 2 to 5 cards. It has to be at least these bottom 2 cards, and I'll explain why right now. So you use your thumb here you're sliding off this top card at the same time you're sliding off those very bottom 2 cards in the deck. Once again, it can be like 2 to 5 cards, I'd say. And you're just going to be bringing those like this right to the bottom. You just need to keep these cards at the bottom of the deck. Then you're just going to slide off a couple more cards like this. And then you're just going to drop the rest of the cards on the deck just like that. And what you have here is you have this crimp card right in the middle of the deck. That's what you want. You want it as close to the middle as possible. And what you've done there is you've kept these 2 cards that you need at the bottom of the deck. The random card with the double-sided tape, and the King of Diamonds with the blue colored back. And from here, your spectator would do the exact same thing that you just did. They would give their deck some overhand shuffles just like this. And once your spectator is done doing that, you're going to explain that they are going to cut about 1/3 of the deck that they have, just like you do here. So what you're doing is, once again, you have the crimped card right about in the middle of the deck. You're going to take about half of the cards above the crimped card and just place those down like that. And the crimp here should be noticeable enough. You don't really have to exaggerate by kind of lifting the cards like this. You'll just kind of have it towards you. You'll be easily able to see where that crimp is. Take about half the cards from the crimp, place them down. Your spectator, they're going to cut their cards like this. And from here, it's really important, you're going to take the rest of the cards above the crimp, including the crimped card. You're going to place those directly above the cards that you just cut. And then your spectator, they will do the same thing. They'll cut as many cards as they want to. And from here, you should have right here the King of Diamonds, because the whole time with the whole setup, the King of Diamonds was right below that crimped card. And from here, you're going to have the King of Diamonds right here, and then you're going to tell your spectator that you were going to place. Make sure, don't turn it over. I was just showing you guys that the King of Diamonds is right here. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to take one card, the next card that I have here, I'm going to place it right above your packet, like that. Your spectator will do the same thing. Keep in mind here, the card they put down is just going to be a random card. They're going to place it down, and this is the part of the trick where the card with the double stick tape comes into play here, because when you place the rest of the cards down, you're basically allowing this card to stick to the card that has this double-sided tape. So you're going to tell your spectator, okay, I'm going to place the rest of the cards on, just like this. You're allowing this queen here to stick to the card that they just put down. Make sure you apply a little bit of pressure, kind of like that. Just make it casual. And then your spectator, they were going to place the rest of the cards that they have on to the card that you just put down, which will be that king. And from here, this is kind of the final part of the trick. You're going to tell your spectator, you're going to spread out the cards that you have, just like this. You're going to show them the blue card right here. And your spectator is going to do the same thing. They're going to spread out their cards like this. They're going to show the red card just like so. And from here, you are going to reveal your card first and show them that the card that they put into your deck was the King of Diamonds. You can snap your fingers, do whatever you want to, and show them that the card that you put into their deck was the exact same card, the King of Diamonds. And you do actually come off completely clean for this trick because you guys will see here the card that has a double stick tape, it basically blends in. See, I didn't do a great job here of squaring up the cards because you can kind of see this overlap here in between the cards. So make sure when you put on that stack, make sure it's as square as possible so you come off completely clean, because that card that they put down is just stuck once again right here to the Queen of Hearts. Just like that, and then you can have your spectator once it's stuck. They can even go through the deck if they are skeptical of anything, and you will come off completely clean. So that is basically how the trick works. It's not too difficult to perform as you guys saw, but it has a really powerful end effect. And that is basically going to do it for this video. Once again, make sure to enter the giveaway. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more Magic content like this. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you want me to do more tutorials of Penn and Teller card tricks. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.